DME was established as an institution for the entire community to come together and excel. We have students who come and learn in a very good facility. We have faculty who are not just well qualified and competent, but are also constantly motivated to teach their best and also pursue research. For well-wishers to come here, for intellectuals to have a place here and contribute in this mission of providing the best education to the young minds in all the courses that we offer, law, media, and management. In making this happen, as the management, we're constantly trying to improve our facilities. Our infrastructure is international in nature. We try to bring together all the relevant stakeholders to participate in this mission. We've tried to ensure that the workings and processes of this institute are fundamentally sound. It is our hope that those who have the desire to succeed find a place here and pursue this. We motivate them this task. If you're associated with DME or wish to get associated, then I welcome you all over here and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.
Delhi Metropolitan Education is a young college. We are 6 years old. We were established in 2013. We have established our own parameters, and this college was ranked among the top 25 law colleges in India. Well, the management school also was ranked as 4th among the upcoming business schools. We work on a model in this college, and that model is, say, the KSA model. We work on the knowledge enhancement of the student, we work on the skill enhancement, and we work on the attitude enhancement. And our model says that if a student has got the appropriate knowledge, skills, and attitude, corporates are waiting for you. The whole world is waiting for you. So, as far as enhancing knowledge is concerned, we have a battery of excellent teachers. We have an excellent library with a lot of online journals and books. We have classrooms whereby we deliver through the technological mode. We have ERP systems. So this is the knowledge enhancement part. Coming to the skill enhancement part, we have industrial seminars, film festivals, judges coming to the campus. So all this enhances of the students. And as far as attitude is concerned, we work on that so that a student is corporate ready. Means the corporate needs people who are ready to deliver. So we have to work on the attitude of the students as well. And having worked on the knowledge, skill, and attitude parameters, we ensure that at the end of the course, the student is having a job offer in hand. This is the DME.
I request everybody to please mute your mic.
The participants, please mute the mic and turn the video off. Keep the video mode on off. We will be starting in 2 minutes.
Yes, Navjot, director sir will be joining.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's coming. I just received a
I'm there,
message.
sir. I'm there.
Okay, sir is there.
I think it's a sharp 3 o'clock and we should begin with at
Yes,
3 o'clock
yes, sir.
sharp.
Yes, sir.
जी. शुरू करवाइए नवजोत.
हाँ जी सर. Good evening, everybody. I am Navjot Suri, Assistant Professor at Law, Professor Law at DME. Welcome you all to today's webinar organized by DME Law School on a very relevant topic, keeping in mind the present situation all over the globe, pandemic and its effect on the mental health of the students. In conversation with Dr. Reema Sehgal, Consultant Psychologist, India and Registered Psychotherapist, Ontario, Canada. Dr. Reema Sehgal has more than 27 years experience of clinical work in school, colleges and hospitals, a recipient of Fulbright Award for Counseling. She has international exposure to best practices in the field of counseling. The work experience extended to 2 years spent in Toronto, Canada as a registered psychotherapist. She completed a bridging program for internationally trained mental health professionals at Seneca College, Toronto. She has worked with children, young adults, and families for individual and group therapy, providing services for various types of distress, depression, anxiety, family conflicts, career struggles, workplace stress, and similar psychological issues. She has conducted numerous psychoeducation programs for academic institutions, for faculty and students, corporate groups, and also has done parenting skills training. She has been a CBSE helpline counselor for many years and a master trainer for adolescent education program. She is a member of American Psychological Association, Ontario Association of Consultants, Counselors, and Psychometrists and Psychotherapists, and the World Health Organization's Global Clinical Practice, besides other national associations of psychologists. Her publications include a book on study habits called Study Smarter, published by Scholastics India, papers published in Journal of Personality and Clinical Studies, Psychological Studies, and Indian Journal of School Health and Wellbeing. Also, her regular columns for parents called Smart Parenting in a Hindi magazine, Sakhi column. Column Mind Your Mind for a Canadian newspaper, Asian Connection. She had been a panelist in TV channels like NDTV, IBN7, Doordarshan, Z, Delhi Aaj Tak, magazines, Vinita, Sakhi, Week, Asian Age, etc. And radio, FM, Gold, FM Rainbow, and Yuvani. At present, she is a visiting consultant at Yashoda Super Speciality Hospital and senior consultant mental health services at Shiv Nadar University. She also freelances various programs for corporates, faculty, parents, and students of educational institutes. I welcome you, ma'am, and it is indeed an honor for us to have you as a guest speaker for today's webinar. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Ravikant Swami, Director DME, Professor Dr. Bhavesh Gupta, Head Academics, DME Law School, Professor Dr. N.K. Behel, Dean, DME Law School, who will moderate the session. I welcome all the participants, and I'm sure that you all will have an enriching experience today in today's webinar. You all are requested once again to mute the mic and put the video mode on off mode. Over to ma'am. Over to you. We can start.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. And to begin, before I begin, I would like to thank the institution DME for giving me this honor of talking to your students, and of course Navjot for coordinating and inviting me. And it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. All my life, I think majority of my career I've worked with youth, whether it was in school or in colleges or universities. And I think my heart beats when I am dealing with talking to young people, because as a psychologist, my 2 decades and more of experience, I see that we can do a lot at the right time if we are available, if we are able to reach out to youth when they are in transition, when they are in conflict. Because if we are there,
I'll just mute. I think there is some problem.
am I audible?
You are audible. I request all of you to please mute. Otherwise, I have to put you in the waiting room. Please. Yeah, it's fine now.
Am I audible, Navjot?
Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Perfect. So it's really a pleasure that way, because I like talking to youth. There's so much that we can do together, work together, and prevent as far as mental illness and mental health is concerned. So the topic is very common, but at the same time very new, because all of us, the first time in our lifetime, and I hope it's the last as well, are dealing with something which is as big as a pandemic, something which has affected everybody's life, irrespective of caste, creed, economic status, whatever. So it's really huge, and something that we were not prepared for. Now, when we talk about effect of pandemic, okay, for the students who are listening to me, and even for the professors, whatever I'm going to talk is out of my experience and of course my professional expertise, but everybody is free to disagree. So you're free to disagree out of your own experience, and I would really love if we can make it an interactive one. And of course, the questions are welcome wherever, however. So when we're talking about effect of pandemic on students' life, feel free to disagree, students, and but what I feel is that it's a phase of transition, especially when we are in university, the higher secondary education, as it is, we are going through transition. Each year, each progress from first to second to third to fourth, there are different phases of university or college life that we are living. So this transition, which itself has its own set of anxieties, complexities, challenges. On top of it, this pandemic has given us ambiguity. Ambiguity in the sense, nobody really knows. Everybody, whether they are doctors, whether they are government, whether they are any sort of experts or astrologers, all in their own field, just trying to guess. Probably this is the possibility or that is the possibility. So nobody is clear, and in fact, everybody agrees that we don't know what's there in store. So that ambiguity and uncertainty in itself is bringing stress. Now, when I talk to a student's life, now, if I am in, say, class, year second or year third or year first, I believe your campus has taken some stance, like most of the universities and colleges are doing. Either we are promoting students or we are just banking on the internal assessment or something. Now, those who were relaxed, okay, oh, this is just internal assessment, we'll do well in exams, are suddenly surprised, oh, what the hell? And similarly, other unexpected things happening. And those who are in year 4, I can see there is a different sort of stress. Where do we go from here? Whether we'll get placements or not, because otherwise there's a system, you know, you pass at this particular month, you start with internship at this particular month, you get your placement interviews at this time, and so on and so forth. So there's something which is planned. And as human being, that's what we want in order to feel secure. So for instance, if I'm sure all of you would have heard of Maslow's need of hierarchy, right? So those hierarchy of needs, what does it talk about? The basic need that all of us must fulfill or have it fulfilled in order to go to the next need. So the basic is physiological, that we all understand. Like for instance, I am talking to you and I would love to talk to you, but suppose there is severe hunger pang or severe thirst, then even the program would be less important for me than having a glass of water. So physiological needs are certainly primary, and the next one comes as security needs, safety needs. So as an individual, as a human being, we feel safe when we know what to expect. That's our safety program, right? So whenever situation like the present one occurs, where nobody really knows for sure how things would turn up, what would happen, the feeling of insecurity, unsafe, fears, they all get triggered. So before I begin with what to do and how to do it, I'd like to just touch upon what most of us are going through. And feel free to write if there's more questions or things coming up to you. So what we are going through is fears. And fear kaun sa? Sabse pehla, I know we're not face to face, so I can't really expect an answer. But the main one is fear of death. Because every day, I don't know how many of you are doing it, but if you're doing it, I'm going to tell you the tips. Please stop doing it. What is the score? Like today's data, how many positive, how many dead, how many recovered? This is something which is flooding to us. So somebody, okay. So the first important fear is fear of this death, then the fear of infection. Not only do we, in order to prevent, require certain criteria, certain things, whether it's hand hygiene, whether it's mask, etc., but also there is paranoia. I know somebody whose neighborhood there was a corona positive patient. So not only did everybody, feel scared, what happened, what are they doing, but those people had their couple of servants. So everybody was quarantined. They didn't move out of the house, and everybody in neighborhood tried to help them by keeping food outside the way we are all doing. But one of them saw the servant taking a stroll at the terrace of the house, and they panicked. There was a panic call. This is about a very educated group of people. So just panicked and they thought that how dare he come out to the terrace? That's a big risk. As if looking at a corona, a suspect, he's not a patient, just a suspect, so quarantine would make a difference. So there's a lot of panic, phobia, fear of getting infected, etc. that is making our lives messier and crazier, and which I know youth are smart, youth are educated, youth are reading the right sources. They're not going by hearsay. Nonetheless, it is coming by looking at others around us. So there's fear of this and the fear of future, as I just mentioned, because things are so uncertain. And everybody goes through university, college education with a hope that after these 4 years, 5 years, whatever the course duration is, then I take the next step and so on. So there are those fears, all said and done. However, we try to excuse ourselves from that, that's happening. So what happens? How is it manifested? Ye fear hai, but ye dikhta kaise? How does it show in us, especially the students, the youth? One thing which I'm very often coming across and students coming to me or talking to me about is lack of confidence. They are losing confidence in their own abilities, that whether I'm capable of doing that, or whether I would be able to or not, how would I be able to have a career, because everybody has ambitions, dreams, and in our culture, in our education system, however, I've been yelling at top of my voice since last 2 decades कि हमें competition की ज़रूरत नहीं है, हमें comparison की ज़रूरत नहीं है, but who would listen to Rima Sehgal? Still, everybody, most of the youth would think of, if I don't reach that goal, like if I don't, मुझे beat करना है, औरों को beat करना है, सबको beat करके मुझे और आगे बढ़ना है. तो जब दिखता है कि this possibility probably does not exist as smoothly as it was expected, so there comes lack of confidence, there comes more self-doubt and worry. Okay, so when I say about worry, this is so natural. All of us who are there in the panel, even the professors, Professor Behel or Professor Swami, or any of you, Mr. Professor Bhavesh ji, any of you would agree that even though our present future is not directly connected, because we are all luckily doing the same work that we were doing before pandemic, nonetheless there is some bit of anxiety when you see things happening all around. When you hear someone you know or someone in the neighborhood getting stuck by corona, or someone is quarantined, or someone, heavens forbid, loses their life. So one way or the other, it is actually scaring all of us, and we need to admit it. We need to accept this is a tough and challenging time. But students के साथ क्या हो रहा है? Students are getting, one, lack of confidence, two, there is building anxiety, और वो anxiety दिखती कैसे है? It show in form of irritability. So they are arguing with their parents if they are home, they are fighting with them, or even with friends, phone call per, या social media, या some post, and they'll disagree or they'll be very rude about it or angry about it. Or some of us have very, in fact, most of youth I am meeting, I am seeing and listening to have very disturbed sleep. So it shows in form of sleep. Some are unable to sleep, some are waking up with nightmares. Okay, then there are people who are also having changes in their appetite. Either बहुत खा रहे हैं या कम खा रहे हैं. So all these signs do indicate that there are stress, there is stress bothering us. There are things that we are taking to heart because of the news, because of the situation, because of all that is happening around us. So this is something about fear pattern. Any question, Navjot, or should I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Nowadays, because of this COVID, as you have very well mentioned, that the fear factor is there. Too much pressure is there on the online mechanism. The children, they are throughout the day are online, getting their homework, tuition. So this is creating a type of a nausea in them, a type of the irritation in them. So don't you think that this online mechanism which has come out away because of this pandemic will have a very negative and destructive effects on the health of the young students, young persons?
Absolutely. It's not only having effect on young, but on us oldies as well. So every age group, because I remember I'm taking all clients, all my patients online. So one after the other, even if it's 3 sessions, which is approximately 3 hours. So 3 hours in front of the screen, then I'm out and doing email, again in front of the screen. Then I'm talking to my friend or connecting to my husband who's abroad. So again on screen. So everybody, and at the same time, this internet, this, some sort of addiction also we can call it, it has caused us a number of disturbances. There's a new disorder listed called FOMO, fear of missing out. You must have heard about it. So even after like this 1 hour session, probably the first thing I'll do will look at my phone and check, check just like that. So as if some VIP is going to send me a message, but there is this constant need for checking our gadgets, looking at that, which is happening not only with young are way ahead and way beyond, you know, all the, because their life is all in this particular toy or gadget. Everything that's happening in their life is happening through the gadget. So yes, they are, but at the same time, all of us are in this technological world, and pandemic has made us more dependent on technology. So it's happening with everyone. I completely agree with you. So we have to, we can take a complete session on how to avoid getting overwhelmed by technology and looking at it as yes, of course, that's a very valid point. And we consciously have, and I mentioned that on my tips I wanted to talk about, consciously which is hard, but we have to. We are studying, it's important that we are aware and to so continuing
Your voice is not coming.
I think, ma'am, your voice.
This is breaking.
Yeah, it's breaking
better?
because of, yeah, now it's better.
Now it's better, so I'll hold the mic in my hand, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, we were talking about anxiety. So now, what is important? What can we do? जो मैंने अभी तक बताया, youth से ये सब तो हमें पता है, exactly. पर हमें अब कर क्या सकते हैं? So there is one important thing, in fact, to remember: what is in my control and what is beyond me. So wherever the locus of control is with you, you can do so much. There's so much that you can do about the situation. But wherever locus of control is beyond you, वहाँ तो हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. और वहाँ हम क्या करेंगे? वहाँ हम प्रेयर करेंगे अगर मानते हैं इस ईश्वर को, और नहीं मानते तो हम वो एक्सेप्टेंस करेंगे कि yes, this is the situation. So what do I mean by locus of control? One thing, let me first start with things that are not in your control, and then I'll come to the final part, what is in your control and what to do it. So what is not in our control? Number one, the pandemic. The disease is not in our control. We can do nothing about it except for praying that the doctors find the best answers to the questions that they have, right? So what is not in my control is the data of corona. What is not in my control is the research. What is not in my control is the condition of hospitals in my city. What is not in my control is what the government is doing about. Okay, when I'm listing what is not in my control, just check, make a mental check. How many of us spend a lot of time in these things, in thinking about all of these which are actually not in my control? So pandemic, governance, medicine, doctors, you know, even media. Media is not in my control. They show whatever they want to show. Some of them are genuine, some of them are fake, whatever. So that is again not in my control. What is being shown to me is not in my control. And most important thing which is not in my control, friends, is people around me. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I completely agree with it. My children, what they are doing with their time, my parents, what they are doing or what they are thinking, my spouse, what they are thinking or doing, nothing is in my control. I cannot change them, although all my life I keep trying to change others. My students are my parents, as we're talking to the youth. So you can't change any of them.
I think there is some network issue. Your voice is breaking.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try and take off the this one. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's
it
better.
better?
Yeah.
I think it's better, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's better?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything that you didn't hear completely? You want me to repeat? I think
The last.
I just mentioned about one thing, one tip, that what is in our control and what is not in our control. And we started with things that are not in our control. And I just would revise that list. That was corona, that was research, that was medication for corona, that was worldwide incidence of pandemic, that was how our government is handling it. That was how our doctors are behaving, how our people around us behaving, what is media doing. ये सारी चीजें आपके मेरे कंट्रोल में नहीं है. But मेरा question है, how much time during the day do we spend talking about or arguing about or discussing about these things? Is that waste of energy? Is that increasing stress? Answer yourself and question yourself on that. So I feel things which are beyond my control, I have to accept and practice. Now, what is in my control? That is where the tips begin. That is where we need to keep our ears and eyes open. And that is where I would like all those who are listening to me. I see around 70 participants, 77. So all those who are listening to me, feel free to write your questions related to what is in my control. So first and most important thing that is in your control is your time. Aane wala din, the day that's there, the 24 hours, they are in my control. What I do with that time is totally in my control. I feel ho jata hai, aisa ho gaya, you know, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. But if we carefully check, if we carefully plan, we can see that we can achieve so much in those 24 hours. So remember, your time is in your control. What you do during that time is in your control. For instance, it is my choice that I start my day at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. Why I'm saying these timings? Because I know students and youth who have all these timings, variety of timings of starting their day. So when I start my day, that is totally my choice, number one. And what do I pack in that time, those 16, 17 hours that I have per 24 hours waking time? How do I spend it? First important thing, friends, is that our body and our mind are connected. So if I want to stay peaceful mentally, I must take care of my body, which is easy. We have been learning that from primary class. How to take care of body? Diet, exercise, sleep, and hygiene. Hygiene is even more important during pandemic, and I'm sure all of you are taking care of that. But diet, what exactly am I eating, and duration of eating? Exercise, so important. There is plethora of research to show that if you do physical exercise in any form, running, jogging, yoga, stretching, aerobics, dance, whatever, Zumba, whatever you want to do, Bhangra, anything you do. So that would increase the happiness chemical in your brain. That makes you feel relaxed, that makes you feel happier and calmer. So physical exercise is so important. It has to be part of your day. You'll have to choose how, and preferably indoors, considering the situation. And the next thing that you need to take care of is your sleep. Most of the people say, I also had the same problem. I slept at 4. I said, never mind. He said, how many hours? You can't sleep. You can't sleep.
Ma'am, it's again breaking. A lot of, disturbance. The voice is breaking. I think disconnect.
Dr. Sehgal appears to be disconnected. Let's wait for a moment.
She's joining.
Well, Dr. Swami, can you give your inputs meanwhile? Am I audible, Dr. Swami?
Yes, sir. Now I am unmuted. I was muted before. But now I think Dr. Bahel is muted now.
Yes, Navjot, you may give a call to our speaker. You may
Yes,
give a call.
ma'am. Ma'am,
Hello.
yeah, you are audible. Ma'am, you are audible.
Anya.
Please continue, ma'am. You can continue. Dr. Rima, please.
I think there is some problem. I'll give a call.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, Dr. Rima.
Hello.
Yeah, it's fine. Please continue.
Is unmute. Hello.
Yeah,
It's fine now.
Unmute,
Ji.
ma'am. We can hear you. You are audible.
Please continue.
Ma'am, now your voice is not audible. Please unmute.
All right. Now is it okay?
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
for the interruption. I had a stressful moment. I'm sweating all because I just realized what happened. Sorry about that. And that's how we manage stress. How do we manage at my age? Call my daughter to help. So technical experts are there at our place who are there to help. So sorry about that, but we were talking about things in our control. So things in our control are taking care of our body. So what I was telling you, the example of one of my clients, that 7 घंटे तो पूरे हो गए, 4 बजे भी सोकर, तो दोबारा नींद कैसे आएगी? नींद तो 16-17 घंटे बाद ही आएगी ना. And again we'll say रात को नींद नहीं आती. So it is basically sleep hygiene that we need to take care of. What time do we switch off the gadgets? What time do we wake up? And all those friends who want to wake up, who want to improve their sleep cycle, the only way is not sleeping early, because नींद आ ही नहीं रही तो सोओगे कैसे? The only way is fix a time of getting up in the morning. If you start waking up early and don't go to bed during the day, then there are chances that after 16 hours, 17 hours, you'll automatically feel sleepy at night and get a night full of restful sleep. Okay, try that out and let me know if it works or it doesn't. So besides that, the next important thing that which is in your control is your mood and your thoughts. Now you'll say, हमारा mood हमारे control में? No way. मम्मी एक कुछ ऐसी बात कह जाती है कि सारा गुस्सा निकल जाता है. भाई teases me or brother teases me or my professor gives me an extra assignment whereas this was not expected. So mood अपना बस में नहीं है. This is absolutely, just check it out with yourself. This is absolutely incorrect. Why? Because if mummy says that you are constantly sleeping during the day and constantly on phone, which is a very common conversation in most homes, and what you tell yourself is, oh, not again, I'm not even going to listen, and you put your headphones in. So your chances of feeling irritable for some time is possible, or mood getting spoiled is possible. But at the same time, if she says some nasty comment or she says she's irritated by seeing you on phone all the time, and you tell yourself, probably I need to take a break, or probably she needs help. She is irritable because she's tired. If you say this to yourself, you're not going to feel irritable. Rather, chances are that you'll go and say something funny to mom or make her laugh, or see that if you can help her in household work. So it entirely depends not on the situation, not on the people who say things to us, but what I am saying to myself. So my mood, my feelings my thoughts depend not on others. It depends on the running commentary, the self-talk that I am giving to myself. Okay, so please remember that your thoughts, your moods are in your control. And one easy way of having a good mood is self-care. And especially during pandemic, all those who are listening to me, I would request, find out at least, even if it's your exam time or whatever, find out at least half an hour to 1 hour for self-care. Even let your parents, your family members, everyone must spend at least this much time. और self care क्या है? Self care सबके लिए अलग अलग है. For me, it can be watching a comedy show. For someone else, it can be head massage. For someone else, it can be listening to music. So each one of us have our own hobbies, our own interests, our own creativity that we need to exhibit or explore or spend time on. So this self-care will keep me at peace, balanced, able to take another challenge, another problem, another issue, another concern, and forget about other concern, able to take me to another day of this pandemic year. So let us focus on the present, today's day. So if I get up and I have a schedule that मुझे ये 5 काम करने हैं, इसमें से पहला सबसे important ये, दूसरा ये, बाकी देखे जाएंगे. So even if I complete that number 1 priority thing, there is something to pat my back about, and that would make me feel better and good about myself. So there's a lot, friends, which is in your control and which you can do. Next important self-care is staying connected. Connected किसके साथ? परिवार के साथ. Connected किसके साथ? Close friends के साथ. Even grandparents and others who are living far by. The more we are connected, thanks to technology, we can stay that, the more chances are that we'll feel less scared, less lonely, and together, bonded, and safe and secure. So these are some of the things. Last but not the least that I would like to talk about is what is my bit and contribution. If you look at, my favorite video, that series is Goalcast. I don't know how many of you watch that, or you watch TED Talks, or you watch any of those inspiring talks. What you see is that people who are most happy about their life are those who have contributed some way to the world. Whether it's Bill Gates is a philanthropist and he's done so much, whether it was talks of Steve Jobs or anyone that we listen to, we realize someone who's doing one way through their work or through their participation. If we are contributing to someone else's life, we feel great about yourself. So keep that in mind. If you can keep water in your balcony for birds, if you can just feed the stray dogs because the market is closed and they don't have enough people to feed, if you just go out and give extra money to the rickshaw puller, whatever. So whichever way you feel good about contributing, if you can call your elderly family members who are living by themselves and crack jokes with them, even that's contribution. So continue to focus on that, and believe me, there's so much that we can bring to our life, to others' life, and feel good about ourselves even in this difficult time. और फिर भी अगर चिड़चिड़ापन है, अगर डर लग रहा है, अगर नींद फिर भी नहीं आ रही है, please don't forget that possibility of anxiety, possibility of onset of depression is quite there. So अगर ऐसा है, so there are plenty of people like me working here in your city, and there are also agencies, helpline agencies, so where you can find out and take help. कभी नहीं सोचना that मैं कोई insane हूँ that I'm going to a psychologist. No, insane don't go anywhere. They don't even know there's something wrong with them. It's only smart, intelligent people who can feel that in spite of my efforts, I'm not able to feel better, so I need help. So be aware, be mindful of your thoughts, and I feel together we shall all beat it, and this too shall pass. Thank you. I'm open to any question, comment.
We are open to questions. If anybody has any question, you can ask.
Speaking to Dr. Sehgal. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Well, ma'am, thank you very much for your exposition very nicely on this subject. And you have rightly related the effect of pandemic on our mental health also. And you have rightly related mental fear, depression, and other factors involved in this phenomena. Delhi Metropolitan Education College, ma'am, we are also trying to overcome the fear of the students, especially those students, those who are going to take competitive examinations. We are preparing them beforehand. And so far as law is concerned, we have a judicial training academy also, where we are preparing our students in advance for taking competitive examinations so that they may not come in the sphere of fear of examination and all. So we are taking care of our students daily. And ma'am, as you know that our law also does not try and punish a person who is not mentally sound or is unsound or he's mentally challenged. So he is sent to some mental asylum, and then when he's okay, then he comes back and faces his trial. And as you know, we have law also that a person commits no offense if he is of unsound mind. And rightly in this new Mental Health Care Act of 2017, the attempted suicide by a person who is mentally challenged was decriminalized. But ma'am, my question to you as a doctor, as a psychologist is that what are the parameters when you say that a person is mentally not sound or he's unsound? And related question which I would like to ask you is that whenever you go to a doctor, suppose I am going to a psychologist. So psychologist thinks that yes, mera patient aa gaya hai, very good. If I go to say another specialist oncologist, then he thinks that my cancer patient has come to me. And you go to the tuberculosis section of government hospital, then doctor thinks that, well, one patient of tuberculosis has come. So how do you overcome the presumption of illness in the mind of doctor? And what are the parameters when you say that the person is mentally challenged or is of unsound mind? Please.
Beautiful question, sir. Thank you for asking. So the first and foremost is, I would say that since we are talking to students, I would like to address that question that, as I mentioned in the end of my talk also, that if you feel that in spite of your efforts to feel better, nahi ho raha. For instance, let us, it's so sad that we are unable to, as a society, as a community, unable to recognize mental illness. क्यों? Because फिजिकल इलनेस को तो इतना इजीली एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, बड़ी शान से बता देते हैं, अरे मैं तो डायबिटिक हूँ, बड़े इजीली कि मेरे को तो हार्ट प्रॉब्लम है, and whatever, even other disease. So what happens? For instance, I'll give you an example through physical illness. Suppose I get fever. Now one day I get 100 fever, I take care, घर का कुछ काढ़ा पी लिया, ये कर लिया, क्रोसिन ले लिया. सेकेंड डे फिर कोशिश कर रही हूँ ठीक होने की, पर रेस्ट करने के बाद भी फीवरिश लग रहा है. थर्ड डे अगर मुझे फिर से फीवर होता है, देन चांसेस आर घर में भी सब कहने लग जाएंगे, एंड इवन आई विल स्टार्ट टू थिंक दैट आई मस्ट गो एंड कंसल्ट अ डॉक्टर. नाउ उसमें क्या क्राइटेरिया पता चला? उसमें ये पता चला कि फिजिकली हम ठीक नहीं है, 2-3 दिन घर के सारे उपाय कर लिए, इट इज नॉट समथिंग माइनर, प्रोबेबली अब डॉक्टर की जरूरत है, राइट? Similarly, mental illness. मेरा मूड कंसिस्टेंटली खराब है, मुझसे उठा ही नहीं जा रहा, मुझे एनर्जी नहीं फील हो रही, मेरे को गुस्सा ही चढ़े जा रहा है. All those signs, and especially when it makes my work dysfunctional. So whether it is going to college, taking classes, whether it is attending classes, whether it is doing any other thing, I'm a librarian, I'm whatever my profession or work is, or I'm a homemaker, I am not able to feel fit enough, happy enough, okay enough, energetic enough to do my work. There I am, my mood is largely affected. Then there are all the chances. First, it's a good idea if we go to a physician first, and the physician would be able to say, but unfortunately my answer connecting to your second question, unfortunately, in our country, I don't know if it is wishfully done or if our MBBS doctors and other seniors actually, are not taught about mental illness, because there would be rarely any referral by a physician, by a even psychiatrist for that matter. They refuse to refer for psychotherapy. Recently, one of my clients who felt better after 9 years of severe anxiety, by chance, okay, let me not talk about that. So 9 years of severe anxiety, and this gentleman came to me, say, a few months ago, and after around 13 or 14 sessions, he didn't need any therapy at all, and he was fine. And suddenly he realized 9 years of medication, and only in 12, 13 sessions, he was able to get rid of his fears. So he said, the doctor, last session, one question, do you think if in the beginning of those 9 years, I was given therapy, I could have get rid of my symptoms? I said, of course. Like 9 years has made you chronically anxious, and now you're able to get rid of that. So he said, why didn't my doctor refer? So I have no answer to that. So sir, you are absolutely right. More and more, of course, Ministry of Health, everyone is working towards holistic care. Yes, they are talking about it. They're talking about bringing Ayurveda, homeopath, everything, mind, body, and your social part. So in psychology, we look at bio, psycho, social. These three aspects. ये अगर तीनों ठीक चल रहे हैं तो हम ठीक हैं. इनमें से कुछ भी गड़बड़ है, then rest of the two are related to it. So ideally, I feel that, and not only because this is my profession, because I also go for therapy, I also need therapy, and because everyone does. We have so many issues in our lives. Everybody needs. मुझे लगता है जैसे family doctor होते हैं, ऐसे family therapist की भी हम सबको जरूरत है. और recent data बता रहा है that हर 5 में से 3 लोग mental disorder है ही हैं, which is a big number. हम इस समय स्क्रीन पे I can see 6 of us. अब इन 6 में से कितने हैं पॉजिटिव हमें नहीं पता. So the point is we need to be mindful, aware and recognize and feel confident about and beautiful. जैसे मेरी बॉडी का ध्यान रखना मेरी ड्यूटी है, मेरे मन का ध्यान रखना मेंटल हेल्थ का भी मेरी ड्यूटी है. And I'm sure institute like yours would be having full-time psychologists, counselors. Most institutes have students. Yeah, right. So that's great. I think it feels so good that institutions like yours recognize this and are ready to help students with that. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Ma'am, we have a question that how to stay motivated every time, like most of the time. How to stay motivated even in situations, I mean, in some situations we are stuck where we can't do anything, nothing is in our hand, and then also we have to stay motivated because we have certain duties to be, taken care of.
Absolutely, that's what I said. We have either something in my control or beyond my control. So when we are focusing on things beyond my control, oh God, आज इतने हजार हो गए, तो मैं कैसे मूड इंस्पायरिंग रख पाऊंगी? जब मैं उसको साइड में रख के देख लिया डेटा, वैसे तो रोज देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, पर अगर देख भी लिया तो चलो हमें अपना काम करना है. एंड आई गो टू माय वर्क कि मेरा इस समय वेबिनार है या मेरा इस समय पेशेंट है, तो मेरी इंस्पिरेशन तो बनी रहेगी ना, बिकॉज आई हैव टू फोकस ऑन व्हाट इज इन माय कंट्रोल. आई हैव माय गोल, जो भी गोल हो, चाहे वो गोल हो आज रेस्ट करना है, पर वो मेरा गोल है, एंड आई एम fulfilling that goal. I'm taking a good rest today. I'm just watching a few movies. So that's my goal. Whatever my goal for the day is, वो purpose मैं अगर कर रही हूँ, उस तरफ चल रही हूँ, तो inspired तो automatically रहूँगी. That reminds me of a beautiful prayer, which is my favorite. शायद आप सबने सुनी होगी, called Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change. Courage to give me courage to change what I can, and wisdom to know the difference. So good wisdom हमको ही पता चल जाएगा ये मेरे सोचने की चीज नहीं है और ये मेरे करने की चीज है, और कुछ नहीं हो, इंस्पायर नहीं फील कर रहे, पढ़ना है, एग्जाम है, असाइनमेंट है, दिल ही नहीं लग रहा क्योंकि उधर मम्मी बता रही है मौसी को ये प्रॉब्लम है, उधर बुआ को ये प्रॉब्लम है, बंद करो किताबें, लगाओ कुछ म्यूजिक, थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज कर लो, थोड़ा डांस कर लो, अपना माइंड सेटल होगा, बैलेंस होगा, जाकर बर्तन मांज के आ जाओ, फिजिकल एक्टिविटी होगी, किचन क्लीन दिखेगा, अपने आप मोटिवेशन, इंस्पायरिंग, दोस्त को फोन मिलाओ, बात कर लो, और उसका अच्छी खबरें सुन के, बात सुन के, there's so many ways we can bring, we don't have to push ourselves, स्पेशली इस स्ट्रेस के टाइम पे हम ज्यादा जबरदस्ती नहीं करें। लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, ये कोर्स भी कर लो, बच्चों को वो भी सिखा दो, यहाँ भी डाल दो, बेटा यूट्यूब पे अपनी वीडियो भी डालो, अब तुम इंस्टा का भी पेज खोलो। पीपल आर गोइंग बॉन्कर्स, हर चीज की एक्सेस हमें परेशान कर सकती है। सो गो इजी, मुश्किल समय है, आज का दिन बिताते हैं अच्छे से, अगला भी ऐसे ही एक एक करके बिताते हैं। लेट्स बी इन द प्रेजेंट एंड वन बाय वन time would move on.
So we have a question. Please let me know how to manage work from home without compromising on on my family, as people at work, they want us to work 24/7.
That's sad. If if your organization wants you to work 24/7, तो थोड़ा उनका ही chemical लोचा मुन्ना भाई में होता है ना, वहाँ गड़बड़ है, and you can do nothing about it. We just talk about it. तो उनको छोड़िए, लेकिन आपको ये पता होना चाहिए और आप अपने सुपरवाइजर को इन्फॉर्म कर सकते हैं that I log in at this time and I'll be taking a break after 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever your time is. जैसा आपको ऑफिस में मिलता था, अगर आधे घंटे का टी ब्रेक या 15 मिनट का टी ब्रेक and 1 घंटे का लंच, just inform so that you are communicating the right thing to your supervisor. And उसके आगे पीछे अगर वो messages डाल रहे हैं, emails डाल रहे हैं, they know that now you have logged off, now you have logged in. So I think the best important part is communication. So if you respectfully communicate that I'm working from home, these are my work hours, these are my work timings, anyone can find that justified. Similarly, घर में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है, that उधर से आपने दाल भी चढ़ा दी है, इधर से आप ईमेल भी कर रहे हो, तो खिचड़ी तो होगी ना, कभी उधर विसल बजेगी, कभी इधर सेंटेंस मिस होगा. So one has to be, जैसे हम, I personally feel, जैसे हम तैयार होकर ऑफिस के लिए जाते थे, ऐसे ही हम घर में तैयार होकर, तैयार मतलब उतना नहीं, लिपस्टिक लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, पर उसके अलावा तैयार होकर अपनी मॉर्निंग का ब्रेकफास्ट निपटाकर, लंच की तैयारी कर कर, I'm talking about women, there can be men also who are doing similar work. So और घर में अगर बच्चे हैं, इन-लॉज हैं, सब हैं, बुजुर्ग हैं, announce कि this is my login time. So everybody should know that you are working. हो सके तो अपने रूम में कोई भी आपका ऑफिस टेबल है, कोई भी वर्किंग स्टेशन है, उसको टेबल बना लो, वो आपका ऑफिस है घर में. So everybody knows that when you are sitting there with your laptop, work is going on. So nobody comes and disturbs. चाहे वो छोटे बच्चे भी हो, we can train them to do that. So it is up to us to sort of differentiate. Work life balance नहीं होगा अगर हम उसको होने नहीं देंगे. हमको वैसे ही चलाना है, क्योंकि मेरा फ्री टाइम, घर का टाइम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और मेरा वर्क टाइम भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. दोनों का कम्युनिकेशन ऑफिस और घर में ठीक करेंगे, आई थिंक मैनेज हो जाएगा.
One more question we have. How can we get rid from a mental pressure during the exam time?
Okay, so where is the pressure? Exam is a sign that you're moving forward. Exam लिखोगे नहीं तो next year में जाओगे कैसे? Important, that's a joke, you can ignore that. But what is important is that any exam, why do we find it tough? We find it tough when we are not prepared. जब अच्छे से तैयारी करी है, तो दो चीजें, एक we are not prepared and दूसरा हम personally confidence lack करते हैं. So मेरा request है कि अगर preparation कम है तो जितना टाइम बचा है उसमें अपना बेस्ट एफर्ट लगाओ. जो और अगर दूसरी वाली पॉइंट है जिसमें कॉन्फिडेंस कम है, सो जितना आपने तैयार किया है, सपोज आपको 15 टॉपिक्स पढ़ने हैं एग्जाम के लिए, और आपने 5 कर लिए, so उस 5 के बाद भी take a pause, take a deep breath. मैंने वैसे relaxation नहीं बताया है, but of course everybody knows about it, deep breathing works, but so take a deep breath and tell yourself, I am confident about these 5 topics, I can answer any question. अपने आप को जो मैं statement confidence का दे रही हूँ after my preparation, that would go a long way. और एक और चीज है, I don't know if we have time, that is called visualization in psychology. There was a experiment where a group of people were asked to play volleyball and see and practice it, because there was to be a match between 3 groups. So one group was made to do regular practices. The second group was made to visualize, sit and just visualize that you are taking the ball, dribbling the ball and reaching the basket, and this is how you put it into the basket. Sort of mental imagination, visualization. Third group did both. Mental visualization भी किया उन्होंने basket में ball डालने का, और वो भी किया, practice भी किया. तो आप guess करो, जब मैच हुआ या continued trials हुए, तो कौन सी टीम जो लगातार winner हुई? Who can guess? नवजोत, तुम guess करो.
The last one, the ones who have visualized and as well as
most
done
of
the
us
practice.
will guess that, yes, कि जिसने physical practice भी किया, mental भी किया, वो winner होगा. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हुआ. Interestingly, जिन्होंने खाली visualize किया था, वो repeatedly better perform किया. So इतने सारे और experiments हैं ये दिखाने के लिए कि अपने mind की बहुत strong power है. So if we visualize, we have heard stories of people जिनको train से फेंक दिया था, the mountaineer, के some incident, and she lost her legs, but she wanted to climb Mount Everest, and then she decided, why can't I climb without legs? And she did it. So there's so many examples, plethora of real examples where only mental power, willingness, the inner inspiration, the decision, the choice, that takes it. So if you're preparing for your exam, first be happy about it. 2, visualize once you have prepared, that 2 is prepared. Third is visualize that when you are just एग्जाम से पहले, रोज रात को सोने से पहले आप अपना एग्जामिनेशन हॉल इमेजिन करो, और उसमें क्वेश्चन पेपर आपके सामने है और आप सारे आंसर्स लिखते चले जा रहे हो, एक के बाद एक आपको आंसर्स आते जा रहे हैं. इसको रेगुलर विजुअलाइज करो और मुझे बताना कैसा रहा. आई एम इजीली एक्सेसिबल. नवजोत हैज माय कॉन्टैक्ट. थैंक यू.
Director sir, I would request you to put your inputs.
Yeah, Dr. Rima, it was very nice listening to you. And you talked about the stress related to exams. So probably the University Grants Commission and the university, the IP university to which we belong, they have taken large number of proactive steps. And the latest notice says that the exams are waived off. I should use the term waived off. So probably we must appreciate that the UGC understood the fact, and they said that the students should be promoted without the exams based on their internals. So my other suggestion to you is that what is your message for the students who are jumping in joy because their exams are waived off?
Celebrate. One, celebrate, have fun, because देखो there are always 2 sides of the coin. Pandemic की वजह से हम इतने दुखी हैं, लेकिन उसके फायदे भी हैं और बहुत सारे फायदे और हमें अपने नेचर में तो दिखाई देते हैं. एक ये भी है. Sorry sir.
Yeah, it's true. When we talk about the advantages, then means I have been talking in other webinars also, and I find that specifically for India, specifically with the Indian context, I can say that Corona will bring in large number of advantages in the long term. Like our college is located in sector 62 Noida, which is IT sector. Means we have TCS, we have IBM, we have Samsung, all the IT firms here. And I find that all the IT firms have had a great realization that something for which they were calling people, say thousands of people to the offices, the same things could be done rather more efficiently when they are at their homes. So that's one example of how Corona is going to have many advantages.
There's so much of new learning that's happening, and we are learning. I'm sure world would be a different, that's what everybody's saying. It'll be a different place after pandemic because we learned so many better ways of saving on time, energy, commuting, etc. But I was completing that one, celebrate, which is okay. कि इस बार के exams गए. But second, I think now it is even more important for you to be thorough with your books and work. Because एग्जाम के बहाने तो हम में से बहुत लोग पढ़ लेते हैं और जब प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में उस थ्योरी की जरूरत होती है तो हम कर पाते हैं. बट अगर हम एग्जाम के बिना छोड़ देंगे then it is going to get tough. So it's even more important that you are steady with your topics, you are steady with your content so that you gain confidence of being a professional once you pass out your degree. So these are two sides of the coin even here.
Yeah, so speaking from, say, psychological point of view, I believe that Corona is a blessing in disguise. Means I find so many blessings in Corona. Say from psychological point of view, the world realized that they could do without the material things after which they were running. Means these people were running after so many things. And now they realize that they could have a happy life even without those things. So that way, from psychological point of view, I think Corona has been an eye opener. And yes, there are problems in the short term or the medium term. Problems are going to be there, but I believe that in the long term, this eye opener is going to have positive effects.
Certainly, sir. So there is this spiritual connect. Especially middle class and upper middle class, the economic sector that we belong to, you and me and other students, probably most of us, we do see advantage in looking within. क्योंकि हम तो बाहर ही भाग रहे थे, जो मौका नहीं मिल रहा था वो आज मिल रहा है. Staying with our families, staying closer. Although we know there are also the other side of the coin. In families में conflict है, domestic violence के cases बढ़ गए हैं. ये सारा चीजें भी हैं because हमको reality को और ज्यादा face करना है, भागने का opportunity नहीं है. But at the same time, Corona has had tragedies. We've seen the death rate. We are seeing migrant labor. We are seeing people who are dependent on their meal per day by the daily wages. It's tough. Those whose businesses are closing, those who are laid off by job. So yes, there are problems, but what we can do about it, today only I was writing an article about those who have been laid off, how to manage and how to manage their mental health. So yes, everybody is going through a different challenge, but फिर भी हमें focus उस पे करना है जो हमारे control में. तब कुछ ना कुछ रास्ता situation से निकलेगा. That's what I felt about it.
I think we are done. So if you still have any questions, we can take up the questions. I think there are no questions. I'll proceed with vote of thanks. Bhavesh sir and Behel sir, you want to say something?
It's okay. It's okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Dr. Bhavesh, please.
Yes, sir. It was an honor to Dr. Sehgal. The way she gave the deep insights into a sensitive topic because of this COVID was really very interesting and has thrown light on this the situation that is going on. I think today's topic has been very intoxicating and was sufficient enough to mesmerize our audience. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
So
again.
I'll propose the vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to propose hearty vote of thanks to the distinguished speaker, Dr. Reema Sehgal. Thank you for sparing time.
Navjot,
Yes, sir.
before you conclude, there is one query coming to my mind that
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Sehgal's personality very, her face response matches with your batches. Looks like as a elder sister to you. Are you in having some relationship with the doctor?
No, not having the relationship, but I've.
I'll tell you. Sir, ये नवजोत झूठ
She
बोल
looks
रही है
very much
because
an
दिल
elder
का
sister to you.
सर दिल का रिश्ता है. You know that they say after years
Okay,
of marriage, husband and wife begin to look like each other. So long years ago, decades ago,
very true.
Navjot was in the same school where I was the counselor. So that is a relationship long ago. That was decades ago. And I'm seeing her after 30, how many years? No, 30 ki to tum hi nahi hogi. After, I don't know, when did you pass out?
I passed out in 10th. I left Bal Bharti. So it was 2010.
Okay.
No, not 10.
So,
2008. Long back.
So nice. Very good. So nice.
So I used to take many sessions I used to have with ma'am, and I was a little famous because of my dance also. So all the teachers used to know me, and it used to work like that. Okay, so I propose hearty vote of thanks to the distinguished speaker, Dr. Reema Sehgal. Thank you for sparing time out of your busy schedule and delivering a very interesting and thought-provoking address. I would like to express my profound gratitude to our director, HOA sir, Dean sir, for their moral support and constant guidance. I am happy to express my vote of thanks to my right hand, Bedpriya Lahiri, for the smooth conduct of this webinar. Finally, most important, I would like to thank the wonderful audience who have actively participated in the webinar and have made it a grand success. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you again. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sehgal.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Result कब आएगा?